Quick reminder before we get into the video, if you do want to get anything from the Chelsea Mega Store, use the QR code on the screen or check the links in the description of all of my videos and use the discount code GBFC10 for 10% off your order for everything at the Chelsea online Mega Store. Let's get into the video. Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. We are back today with Chelsea news. We've got a big day here today. On GBFC, we got news now, we have got the Bayern Munich preview later, and as well as that, we have got double content on Shootout. The link to the new channel with Eunice is in the description. We've had a couple of technical things in the last couple of days, but we're still getting content out there. We're going to be doing a which English club are more likely to win the Champions League video. That's going out at lunchtime today. And then we've got a live stream for Arsenal versus Bilbao. A hate watch tonight for Arsenal in Spain. But without any further ado, let's go into the latest Chelsea news. Emmanuel Emegha, we spoke about signing him from Strasbourg at the end of last week. Chelsea getting a here we go in September. It's just what we do. Chelsea will decide in the next months whether they want to bring Emegha into the squad in January or next summer, with both being possibilities. Juventus were one of the clubs interested, as well as Aston Villa and Bayern Munich early on. Well, he's come to Chelsea, and to be fair, considering he's at Strasbourg, it isn't really a surprise to anybody. The Dutch striker is a good player. There's a few people that will have some reservations about whether or not he's actually good enough. I think Emegha is not coming in to be the main guy, but I think Chelsea are kind of just weighing up at the moment what they want to do with the striker position, because we got Mark Guiu, who came back from Sunderland, but he didn't even make the matchday squad, when we've only got João Pedro, who also wasn't even fully fit for the game that we saw at the weekend. And you can see it, right? When João Pedro is on it, he's got this tenacity, he's got this speed, he's got these bursts in the final third, whether he's got the ball or he's trying to get it back out of possession. João Pedro he's a terrier, but he's also somebody who maneuvers with speed and class. And I don't necessarily think he looked fully fit. And then that was also confirmed after the game. So I got a funny feeling Chelsea will be forced to actually call Emmanuel Emegha back in January, because even when Liam Delap is back, that then leaves Chelsea still only with Delap and Guiu as outright number 9s, because Enzo Maresca has made it pretty clear that he sees João Pedro as that kind of backup 10 / play behind the number 9 as a second striker. And we saw that with Nkunku and Jackson playing together, this didn't work last season and the season before. But this year, with that game at West Ham, which it's such a shame that we have only seen this happen once so far. But when Liam Delap was the striker, João Pedro was playing off of him and just behind him. Liam Delap would occupy the defenders, which would free up the space for João Pedro. That's what Maresca wants to do. And I don't think he trusts Mark Guiu to be able to do that just yet. Otherwise, surely he'd have been involved in the game at the weekend. So Emegha, I can really see him coming in January. And that is also due to what we saw from the Strasbourg fans. And listen, I don't necessarily think this is all entirely focused on Emmanuel Emegha. At Strasbourg right now, I can understand why Strasbourg fans are frustrated. Now, of course, Emmanuel Emegha is a Strasbourg player. Strasbourg, Chelsea, affiliated football clubs, sister clubs, multi-club models and networks and all of that stuff, right? Chelsea are the big dogs here. Chelsea are the bosses, I guess you could say, in terms of order and ranking of club size, priority. If you're a Strasbourg fan, let's put the shoe on the other foot. If you're a Chelsea fan, right, and we are part of a multi-club network and there's a club bigger than us, I'm not going to be happy with that. My football club is my everything. It's my number one. And as a Strasbourg fan, to see players doing well at your club, but then know they're probably going to end up at Chelsea, I can understand why fans would be frustrated with this. There is the counter argument that Strasbourg might not be in European football without this multi-club model. But I think if you ask a lot of football fans, do you want to be seen as the number one, the priority, but maybe not do so well, but then, or you can have your club ran by a bunch of ownership people who don't have you as their number one. You see where I'm going with this? Like, it's a catch-22, and I fully understand why Strasbourg fans might find this really tough to accept. But Liam Rosenior has said this, the Strasbourg manager: Emmanuel Emegha was devastated, and so was I. I am very disappointed with what I saw. Seeing banners against one of the best players last season is unacceptable. My players deserve much more. He then goes on to say this: they have an impeccable mindset and do not deserve this treatment. We are in a pivotal season in which we will play in the European Cup, but it seems that a minority is not happy with these performances. I don't think they're worried about the performances. I don't think it's about what they're seeing on the pitch. It's about what's happening above. It won't change anything at all because I remain very proud of my players, and Emmanuel Emegha will remain captain as long as he is there. It is still necessary to emphasize that this does not concern everyone, but a minority. You've got to be aware of the reasons why, and I think with all of these things, I think it alienates football fans even more if the people that we listen to in press conferences, the managers, the players, the people that we trust, if we avoid the elephant in the room, it alienates fans further. Obviously, Strasbourg fans are going to be happy that the club are playing European football. And I don't want to speak for them because I'm not a Strasbourg fan. But from the outside, they're going to be celebrating goals in the Conference League or whatever if they score in the Conference League. Of course they are. It's the fact that they are not the priority because Chelsea are taking their captain. Chelsea are going to take the players that succeed there. But then it's also kind of reality that Chelsea would be doing that whether it was Strasbourg or not. It's tough because it's easy for Chelsea fans to sit here and say, well, yeah, we're Chelsea. I can fully empathise and understand why Strasbourg fans find this so difficult. But from a Chelsea perspective, which is what we are here on this channel, Chelsea fans predominantly, I want Strasbourg to do well, of course I do, but I don't support Strasbourg. So if Emmanuel Emegha comes in January, I think that will benefit the Chelsea squad, don't you? Let's move now into the latest again on Mykhailo Mudryk, because the only reason I keep talking about this is because I find the behaviour slightly bizarre, borderline concerning. And I'm going to say it again before we even say what I'm talking about here. I hope he's got some good friends around him. I really do. So Mudryk has been tagging Jordan Jones, saying, let's meet in Paris. I've got 2 tickets in Disneyland. Don't want to go alone. First of all, I'm reading the actual Lexis that's on the screen here. Doesn't want to go alone. Maybe he's feeling a bit lonely right now. So he's calling out girls on social media to see if they want to go to Disneyland with him in the public while still being in the middle of a drug ban in football, having lost his career temporarily. For me, I just find it, he can do what he wants, right? I'm purely saying this from a place of caring. I really hope he's got some good people around him. I hope he's doing all right. Oh man, we move into the next story. Chelsea offered 40 million euros to sign Fermin Lopez. That money was never going to be enough to convince Barcelona. From what I'm told, this is Fabrizio on the Here We Go podcast, Chelsea sent that bid even though they knew that the deal was almost impossible because they really wanted to make the player feel that their interest is concrete. They really believe Fermin would be a perfect for what they're building at Chelsea. First of all, I do think Fermin Lopez would have been a great signing for us. I think right now it's exactly what we might need in this team. We've obviously gone and signed Buonanotte on loan because we wouldn't have been able to go above the 40 million euro value. If you're Fermin Lopez, who's had a good start to life this season at Barcelona, scored a cracking goal the other day too, do you actually look at this? Chelsea bidding 40 million euros, which is not enough for a player of that quality, and certainly not enough for Barcelona to even consider it. Do you look at that and think, oh yeah, they really want me? Or, I don't know. I personally don't think this is... If Barcelona wanted, 70, 80 million and Chelsea offer 40, yes, we knew we weren't going to get him, but does it actually show Fermin Lopez that we really want to buy him? I don't know, man. Maybe it does. Maybe this is just purely my perception and footballers' brains and things don't work this way. But realistically, I think Chelsea would do very well to have a player like Fermin Lopez in the squad right now. Obviously, the whole summer, we talked about Xavi Simons. That's not possible. He went to Spurs And Chelsea fundamentally didn't have the cash to buy another attacking midfielder come the end of the window. And we're already potentially seeing a struggle as a result with that. But not to say that Chelsea won't go back in for him in the future. But the way he started the season, it might be a lot more than the 40 million that we thought we'd try and tempt him away with in the summer. Chelsea, this is big. Chelsea want to negotiate an advance on new contract for Moises Caicedo. Chelsea want to give him what he deserves to avoid potential problems with other clubs in the next years. Let me say something about Moises Caicedo, right? Give the bloke a blank check, give him a biro or a fountain pen, whatever he wants, and let him put the number in. And obviously that's not going to happen. Got a wage structure at Chelsea, remember? But this guy is outstanding. He's one of the best midfielders I've ever seen play football for Chelsea. And look, hang on. We've seen some world-class ones, right? I'm 31 years old. I've seen Lampard. I've seen Ballack. I've seen Mykhailo, SCN. I've seen so many quality footballers play for our club, but he's up there. Caicedo is absolutely up there. He's sensational. He is the best defensive midfielder in world football. And look, we all struggle to make comparisons. Maybe sometimes we compare too much to players of the past. But there's no doubt in my mind that getting Caicedo to sign a new deal, paying him something which would put him up there with top earners in the Premier League, needs to be what happens here. Because I understand that we've got a wage structure, and it's good because we brought that wage bill massively down. But Caicedo's on another planet of how good he is, right? If Erling Haaland's on 500 grand a week, you pay that because he's a striker that scores you loads of goals, right? Caicedo deserves 300 grand a week. He just does. If N'Golo Kante was on that at Chelsea, Caicedo deserves it too. And I think we're so lucky, actually, with Caicedo, because every time I see him play, he gets better. I feel like his legs are made out of steel, but they also, like, I love him. I absolutely love him. I think he's sensational. And giving him a contract that would reflect that ability would be huge for us. If we can keep Caicedo at the club for the next 5, 6, 7+ years, we are going to be in for a treat, because I think he's genuinely so good. Let's see what happens regarding that contract. This is Rory Delap, Liam Delap's father, who of course was very famous for the long throw-in. Liam is gutted with the injury, especially at the start of his career there. He's got a strong head on his shoulders and focusing on his recovery, but he gets bored easy. He's learning magic tricks and doing maths things that I can't get my head around. I am also gutted for Liam Delap. I think at the start of time at Chelsea, obviously João Pedro came in and just blew us away in the Club World Cup, which meant he got all of the headlines. Liam Delap's got the number 9 shirt, and then to get injured that early on, having not made a bad start, don't get me wrong, we could have got more from him, could have been more goals, whatever, but like second game of the season, to then be ruled out for 12, 13, 14 weeks is gutting for a young player who's been given a heavy shirt at Chelsea, that number 9. But I back him, and I think what we've seen, especially in that Brentford game, comparatively to what we saw against West Ham, Liam Delap is going to be a starter pretty much every week. There's going to be definitely a headache that will come for Maresca if Estêvão, who is now back in training, another big piece of news for today, if Estêvão keeps developing, keeps doing well, Neto's had a good start to the season, obviously Cole Palmer's got to play as well, who misses out here? Maybe it is, in the end, Cole Palmer moves over to the right and we see him rotate more with Estêvão, and then it's actually a headache that Maresca right now, the headache's gone the other way. Maybe we don't have the options that we want. And as Maresca has said, he doesn't see João Pedro as that low block breaker, which is difficult because that's exactly how teams are going to play against Chelsea. Even Man United at the weekend. Bayern Munich could be a different story. And I cannot wait for this preview later. I'm gassed for this game. But Estêvão back in training. That is the final piece of news for the day. As I said at the start of the video, make sure you're subscribed to Shootout. The first stream that we did for the Brentford game was huge. And the Bayern Munich game back in the Champions League is going to be even bigger. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Link in the description. As we also said at the start, if you do want to get anything from the Chelsea Mega Store, GBFC 10 gets you 10% off your entire order, be it kits, retro stuff, Christmas range, everything. The OVO range as well on the website too. If there's any stock left, you get 10% off that as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later on in the next video. Come on, you Blues.